Alright, folks, we have 1,000 points of Legions of Nagash, controlled by Drubaka this time. I know, right? It's gonna be totally awesome. I have the Boneheads this time. And Lumpy has my Ogres. This is gonna hurt, is what it's gonna do. I'm gonna start with the Ogres, like I usually do. So, there are two big blocks of Ogres, each with full command. They have a Gorger as a support unit, and a Butcher as their hero. The Butcher has Billowing Tyrant. Lumpy, what did you choose as your artifact? Battle Brew. Battle Brew is a one-shot item during the hero phase. He gets to choose either one swig or two swigs from the Battle Brew. If he does one swig, it's a +1 to hit, +1 to wound. If he does two swigs, it's +2 to hit, +2 to wound, but he takes a d6 mortal wounds at the end of the turn, so it might kill him, depending on how things go. So, yeah, that could be a problem. And the Gorger will show up sometime at the end of turn 1. Now we're on to these beautiful skeleton things. There are two mini blocks of sword and board skeletons. There's a 30-man unit of spear and stabby bits, skeletons with spears, there we go. There's a 20-man block of zombies, a 5-man block of black knights, a necromancer with fading vigor, a necromancer with spectral grasp, and my vampire lord. I'm claiming that he can fly because I didn't want to put him on a mount, and why would you not let your lord fly? He's the general. He has red fury, so after he attacks, I'm going to roll a d6 on him, and on a 5 up, I'm going to immediately attack and pile in again. Pile in and then attack. He also has the Ring of Immortality, so the first time he dies, he's not going to. He's going to show up somewhere with, I think, within 9 inches of his current position with D3 wounds back. And he also has a chalice of something, which means he can get a D6 wounds back at some point during the game. So that will probably happen. Hopefully both of those things will happen if he dies. Preferably I'm using an artifact I don't actually have to use, but yeah, oh well. And here is our table. Once again, the shiny bits are the objectives. There are 5 this game. And that one there. Okay, those are the 5 objectives. They're each worth 1 point, except for the one in the middle. The other caveat to that is if you own flanking objectives, which means you get them on the diagonal. So if you have this one and you have that one over there, you get an extra point. But you have to control the one in the middle to have the extra objective point. These ion tokens are once again grave markers for the City of the Dead. And by that I mean the Legions of Nagash. Yeah. So let's see how this is going to go. We know that the Ogres are going to finish deploying first because they have 4 units and the Legions of Nagash brought 8 units. And I did not opt for the... what is it? The battalion this time, because at 1,000 points, it's kind of hard to get what I want on the table, and I can't really bring a big block of skeletons ever with that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So here we go. All right. So this is the end of turn 1 for Legions of Nagash. They started out back here in a big old line. The zombies are in reserve right now. They're in the grave. So if I end the at the beginning of the movement phase. Let's see. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. At the end of the movement phase, if one of my heroes is within 9 inches of a gravesite, I can summon my zombies. And the zombies will show up within 9 inches of that gravesite. So, but it's at the end of the movement phase, not at the beginning, like whenever you summon them, with command points and such. So, because it'll be at the end of the movement phase, they won't get to move but they can charge, but they'll have to make a 9-inch charge. So maybe I should do that. But this is the thing at the moment. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So I did decide to go ahead and summon the Nambies from the grave, because that was way faster than trying to move them off my line. And then I tried to charge with them and I rolled an 8. The problem is they have to be set up within, outside of 9 of the other guys. So yeah. Alright, so this is the end of the ogre turn. There were zombies between these ogres and those black knights. They all be dead, because the ogres hit really, really well. They had 14 hits and 12 wounds, which deals 24 points of damage. The zombies do not have a save, and they are not within 6 of a hero, so they did not get to have their deathless minions save. Oh, and by the way, there's a Gorger over there. So, yeah. The other ogres decided to move forward. The butcher got off of his perch. Lumpy, shut up. This giant piece of terrain has spectral grasp on it for this turn. Not that it mattered for this turn, but what that would have done to the ogres was halve their movement. So if they had their 3-inch move instead of a 6-inch move, and they rolled their 5-inch charge like they did, they would not have been in combat. But they did not start the movement phase within 3 inches of the terrain piece. So, oh well. Now it's time for turn 2. Alright, so the ogres were able to get off a double turn because Lumpy's really good at winning initiative. Yeah. So this block of ogres started their turn within 3 inches of that terrain piece, which means they have their movement. Our current understanding of this is the move phase, and like anytime you move the guys. So they had a 3-inch move, and they rolled a 5-inch charge again? Is that what they rolled?
Effectively, yeah.
No, they rolled a 4-inch charge, which means they got a 2-inch. I'm not even sure that if they weren't inhibited, they would have been able to make the 4-inch, but they definitely didn't make a 2-inch charge, because that's not a thing. However, the Gorger was able to run and then make combat with the Black Knights, so that's a thing. Oh, and over here, the Butcher during the hero phase tried to cast Voracious Maw and didn't. Because he screwed up. He probably shoved his... Oh, he needs to roll, Eric.
No, it's anytime he succeeds.
No, anytime he casts a spell.
Oh.
So don't roll a 1.
Nope.
Okay, he would have healed himself. And then this giant block came in contact with the 10-man warrior buffer and is close enough to engage the Spears of Doom. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Alrighty then. So at the end of the ogre combat turn, I'm gonna go over here. The Gorger made combat, but he didn't do any wounds, and 3 of them were able to get into combat with him and deal a wound that he did not save. But he's tied them up in combat this turn. So there's that. Let's see. Over here, the meat bus got into combat, wiped the screen unit of 10 warriors, killed 6 of the spearmen, and the other 26 spearmen mauled the bejesus out of that unit. They straight up killed 6 guys. Excuse me. They killed 4 guys. The Vampire Lord killed 2 of them. And then the spearmen, because they're awesome, and the ogres have very low bravery, 5 of the guys ran away. There's just this Billower left, and he's not going to survive the turn. So, unless I really screw up, but I doubt that's going to happen here. Yeah, so now it's time for Legions of Nagash. Alright, so here's the gloriousness that is the Legions of Nagash turn, and some shenanigans over here with the daisy chain. Hey, they came back! So they're going to try to go eat a butcher, because they're going to get to attack twice, because one of the Necromancers said, "Dance, monkey, dance!" So they're going to get to do stuff. The cavalry decided they didn't want to play with the Gorger anymore because he cheats. So they ran up here. However, the 10 block of skeletons and the 20-man block of zombies, by the way, they just showed up because I spent one of my 2 command points. Is this turn? No, this is only turn 2. Okay. So yeah, the zombies are back, and they're going to make their charge because they were summoned within 9 inches of this gravesite, moved their 4 inches during their turn, and then they have a guaranteed 6-inch charge. So if I get better than a 6-inch charge, then cool stuff happens. But if I don't get a 6-inch charge, then I still get a 6-inch charge because one of them brought a rain stick or something. They're kicking their head around. I don't remember. But one of them is a noisemaker. One of them is also a noisemaker. Don't know where he went. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So this is... Oh, this piece of terrain got Spectral Grasp again. So those guys are going to move at half speed, which means the Ogres are pretty well screwed. We shot the Butcher for 1 point of damage because Arcane Bolt is a thing. And the Necromancer. The General's like, shoot you! I'm going to go attack you now. And then that one did that thing. That Necromancer made them dance, and that was... Okay, now it's time for shooting, which we don't have, so charges. Alright, so the Vampire Lord made combat, and he stabbed the Butcher in the bum. Killed him with his 2... He did 3 wounds, 2 hits... 3 hits, 2 wounds... Butchers failed both, and then he did his 6 points of damage from D3 damages. So, yeah, good job, Lord. Alright, at the end of Legions of Nagash turn, we have this weird conga line over there. Just in case the Lord didn't kill the Butcher, we were going to try to stab him a little bit. Because we were able to attack twice, and we conga'd that way a little bit, and then we didn't really need to. So that guy died 3.5 times. The Gorger is still alive by 1. He killed 6 zombies. The zombies don't care because they're zombies. Those guys are going to be moving half speed. The Legions of Nagash control 3/4 of the table and 80% of the objectives. The Ogres still have 1 objective back there. The Ogres have won the initiative, so let's see what they do. End of the Ogre turn, the Ogres have decided that this piece of... this thing, you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, and I have 1. So, Ogres have this objective and that objective. The skeletons... The Legions of Nagash have the rest of it. They have made an Isle of Gorger. They have made a party around the Gorger to save him because the Gorger has 1 wound left, and the zombies have died again.
Yes.
But that's okay because I'll just summon them back. Because why not? Nothing else has taken damage on the side of the Legions of Nagash. Actually, I could summon both units back, because I have 2 command points and nothing to do with them, other than summon things and go, we're here! So that might happen. So yeah, now it's time for Legions of Nagash turn. Alright, so this is the end of the movement phase for Legions of Nagash, bottom of turn 3? Yeah, bottom of turn 3, because I've used 3 command points by this point. There are skeletons over there who have claimed the objective. The cavalry, the cowardly cavalry have claimed that objective. Because why not? The vampire is really pissed off because he went to the wrong side of the board. There are no bad guys over there, and he wants to eat something. However, his Necromancer friends are pulling their weight. The Fading Vigor guy, he got his spell off twice, which means these Ogres have -2 to hit. No, -2 attacks, and have... They roll a single die when charging. Not that they really need to charge because I'm probably gonna... I should charge them, but if I don't, then I know that I succeed in doing all the things that I need to defeat them, because I control all 5 objectives at this point. So I probably shouldn't attack them, but they're at -2 attacks. They get to attack twice. They get to attack twice. I kind of want to see what's going to happen here. So I think I'm going to do it. This is like a perfect storm for Legions of Nagash right now. So yeah, because I have all 20 zombies back. And all the healing that I get to do doesn't really matter, because the unit that took the healing, that actually took damage and could survive, wiped off the other unit. So yeah, let's see what the legions can do to this block of ogres. Alright, so the Glorious Mayhem, that is 20 zombies and 10 skeletons, attacked the seriously hamstringed ogres. 4 of the ogres swung into the zombies. Only 2 zombies died from them. The 3 ogres that swung into the 10 skeletons, they failed to hit. No, they failed to deal any damage. And then the Gorger came in. He killed 2 ogres. Killed 2 zombies, and then the zombies hit him back and killed him because he had 1 wound left. And they did not get a guy, which would have been a giant, which should have been a giant zombie, but I don't think that's how that works. So now it's time to roll off for the beginning of turn 4. But the current point total is ogres have 6 points. Lumpy. Ogres have 6 points.
6 points.
And then this turn, the Legions of Nagash get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points because we have the flanking objectives. So it is 6 to 18. There is no way for the ogres to catch up at this point.
And you have all.
And all the spells have gone off really well.
You have all objectives.
I have all the objectives.
You win.
If the ogres... that doesn't happen until turn... No, that's the end of turn 3. You're right. If the ogres were to get the turn to go off, they would be seriously screwed. If the Legions of Nagash get the turn, they're going to tell the ogres to go anyway, because the ogres pretty much can't do anything. So, yeah, we're going to call that a game. Major victory for the Legions of Nagash. The meat bus need more meat. So, yeah.